Start staring off.
Hey, everybody. This is the Gathering Paracast. My name is Heidi.
And I'm Stephanie, and we have a very special guest tonight. We have psychic medium Valentina Marie with us. Yay! Excited to see you again.
Hi, guys, girls.
Hi.
How are you?
So it's been a while, so I thought we'd catch up. I mean, last time you were on our show, we were talking before the show was when it was just radio. So this is all video now, so it's a whole different world. So it's fun. Yeah, so it's fun to, see you and have us all on screen and all that stuff. So how have you been?
Good. Slow in some areas, busy in other areas, as my life is always uber chaotic. So yeah. Sometimes I just run away and hide. You have to do that sometimes.
Yes. Oh, for sure. For sure. And you're working constantly all the time. You're constantly busy, craziness.
Now I am. Yeah. Because I added more things on my plate, and now I'm like, why did I do that? It's just like, am I not overwhelmed enough? Apparently not.
Right? I know. Sometimes I feel that way too. It's just too much sometimes.
It is.
Oh my gosh. So, one of the things that you do, so you're a psychic medium. So, we thought we would maybe pick your mind a little bit about paranormal investigation tonight, and whatever you want to talk about. But first of all, I want to say, everybody get her book. It's called I Am V, and it's all about V's colorful life, which, I mean, you've been a model, you're in all kinds of stuff, videos, rock videos, just all kinds of really cool stuff. And you're from Denmark.
Denmark, yes. Yeah, so, I go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, no. It's just that book is kind of signifying I'm a bit of an overachiever. There's really nothing I won't try. And if I'm not successful right off the bat, it's usually like, okay, that's not aligned with me. I'm not supposed to do it. And I drop it. But anything that I can pick up and do first time, I will run with that. And that becomes a business or whatever. And so, yeah, nothing short of like entertaining and adventurous all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's what they call living a good life, right? Is when it's a new adventure all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So in your book, you talk about how you had a traumatic brain injury, and that's what your psychic abilities. Do you want to talk just a little bit about that? And how did you feel? How did it happen? I mean, how did you know, you had these abilities suddenly?
Well, yeah. So the accident, which is really just stupid. Literally, it is a freak accident. It was a boyfriend who said something smart alecky, and I went to kick him in the thigh. But he thought, as a man, I was kicking him somewhere else.
Yes.
So he went to block me, and that block was just enough to catch my leg and flip me up in the air and slam my head down on the ground. And from there, I was only like 23. So, you're not really rushing to go to the ER. You just think you had a really bad headache, which lasted 5 days. And I became photophobic, which means you can't look at light. And that's when I kind of started thinking something was wrong. But I thought I just really had a high fever, which was 103. And then I got to the ER, and I thought, okay, we're going to get some Bayer aspirin or whatever, and off you go. Well, they called in a neurologist, and I thought, okay, what's that about? And then the next thing, they're poking this giant needle into my back, and they found that the fluid between my spine going into my brain was completely infected with meningitis. So the brain, my brain was getting infected, and I was really starting to lose. I was fading in and out. I wasn't responsive. They put the little hammer on my knees. There was no responses. I wasn't responding. I was starting to slip into a coma, and I was pretty much slowly dying. But, at 23, you're like, oh, when can I get back to work? Your mind is not like, I'm dying. oh crap, you know, I'm just
Mhm.
kind of like, when can I get out of here? You know, I don't know why the big fuss is. You know, they put me in a pitch black room and everyone's wearing masks because I'm contagious. I don't know what's happening. So all that took over a year and a half to some stuff never came back. Some
Wow.
stuff is hypersensitive now. Like I can hear wires in the walls. I can hear things that other people can't. And it's like, what is this? Sometimes things sound super loud, like my hearing got unregulated and things are loud, or the quiet things are super loud. And so I just learned to adjust to that. You know, it was 2 years of hell. My mother was running me to every hospital and nobody knew what was wrong. So I learned to live with it. And then I started picking up things in my head, like things would talk, and I'm like, why do I know this information? I would hug people and, you know, you're going to die from this if you don't stop this. And I'm like, why am I, where's this coming from? This is just weird, you know? So I still have the little brown book somewhere. It's probably in my safe. But I started noting when I would predict things and put the date. And then a few days later, the prediction would come true and I would put the date of the prediction. And that book started filling up. And at that point, I thought, whoa, okay, how do I know this? Why is this happening? You know, I don't have time for this. I'm modeling in LA. I don't have time for like information that doesn't put, you know, it's just too much. So, um, a lot of the times I just pushed it out of the way. I wasn't interested, you know. I mean, this went on for years and years until I finally decided, after being watching Ghost Adventures, I thought, you know, maybe I'll start a paranormal group and just, you know, go around
Mhm.
LA. I'll be in charge of it and get awesome places to investigate. And the team was huge. It was like 24 people. And eventually it dwindled down to less people. Because, you know, I'm like, we can't have this many people in a building,
No.
you know, unless I pick larger buildings. And so that's what happened. You know, 4 would be one place, 4 would be another. Eventually it dwindled down to about 12, and that was like a good amount. And we would go a lot of places. And from there, one of the guys on the team, he said, you know, you're psychic. And I go, oh, no, I'm not. That's for people on television. That's not me. You know, that me, that's, and
Mhm.
he goes, no, yeah, just sit down in this chair. Tell me what happened. And I was like, well, I'm sitting here and I'm the bride and her hair's this way and she's wearing this and her husband to be, he's got this kind of hairdo and he's doing this. And he's like, and you're not psychic? I go, well, I don't know where this information came from. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
And so he basically mentored me until it got to the point where he goes, you're too powerful. And this was his words, you're too powerful for me to train you any further. And I said,
Mm.
no, don't leave me. Like, I don't know what to do with all this. You
Right.
can't just, like, there you go, off you go. And so from there, I really had to figure out what to do with all this stuff. You know, it was a lot of information. The team, or my team, disbanded. They kind of split up. It narrowed down to 4. And by then I was like, you know, just don't have the time. And my parents were still alive at the time I was doing that. So once my parents passed, all focus became about that and dealing with that. And then that's when I really decided, okay, maybe I do need these gifts now because I just want to talk to my mother, you know. And it really was, it started off not like, oh, let me have a business. It was like, I just need to talk to my mother. You
Yeah.
know, I need to just focus. So that's where it all came about, but it was certainly nothing. I don't come from a long line of anything. um, I'm the only one with this, you know. um,
Mhm.
it's a blessing and a burden. That's the only way, but it's kind of like being a model. It's a blessing and a curse too, you know. I
Mhm.
don't think you know, because it's like your looks are great, they make you money, but they also get unwanted attention. And same
Mhm.
with being a psychic, you know, you are overwhelmed, everyone needs your help. And you know, it's so I
Yeah.
just call it that, you know, it's a blessing and a curse. I mean, it's
Yep.
not for everyone is what I want to say. It's very intense. And so, you know, for those, I
Yes.
always
Oh,
try to
for
tell
sure.
people, you know, for those trying to be a psychic, hey, you know, it's not that glamorous. It's you know, you're tired, you're sick. It's the stuff people don't see behind the scenes, I guess, you know.
Mhm. Exactly.
So how did it, I'm curious how it, and I know you cover this in your book, but if you could share with folks how you like transitioned to actually do this as a business, you know, which started out as something you didn't want and you didn't understand, and now you're able to do it for people.
Yeah, I love that question. Thank you. So it was a weird transition because it wasn't like, the neon light went on and come on in, open 24 hours, let's get going. I still did not have the confidence. So what I ended up doing was going on Facebook and telling everyone for 1 week, I will give free readings. I ended up doing 35 readings in that week, and it was very accurate. So that was all that it took to like, okay, maybe I do have something. I'm still at this point being doubtful because, this is the first time I'm testing it out on people and getting that feedback, which is so necessary. And I thought, wow, okay. I said, and people were writing me saying, oh man, I missed out, because I was like, I didn't really expect the response to be that high. So I said, I'm going to open up one more week. And I think I did 50 readings in that week.
Wow.
And yeah, this is how I am.
Wow.
And I said, okay, shop is closed. I have proven the point to myself that I do have a gift. I can do this. So now it's time to charge because, you can't go to the doctor and say, fix my broken arm for free.
No.
I wish. So at this point, I thought, you know what? I guess I'm going to have to charge for this because this is something, you have to pay people that have a specialty, and know more than you do. That's with anything, attorneys, whatever, nutritionists, you go there for information because they do what they do best. So that's when I started doing a few and set up in LA. And then shortly after my parents passed, I probably did about 3 months of readings in LA, and then my parents passed, and I thought, well, got to put that on hold now and deal with my parents, wrap all that up. And then by then I thought, you know what, screw LA, I'm over it after 32 years. So then I had to not only pack up all their stuff, but all of a sudden I had to move. I decided to wrap everything up, leave LA, start fresh in Florida, knowing nobody, but I felt I needed a new chapter, So that's where that happened. And then I remember coming to Florida and setting up. I put myself on Yelp, and within 10 days of getting to Florida, I had people calling to set up readings, and they're sitting on the floor. I don't even have my furniture yet. I'm like, welcome, here's the floor.
Yeah.
So can you imagine, like, you didn't really think it was going to go that well, and people are calling, and now you have no furniture. And so I ordered a sofa from Amazon, which is a side story, but I thought, let me see how that goes when you order a sofa, an entire sofa from Amazon. And then I didn't like the sofa, and I had to returning a sofa to Amazon. Let me tell you.
Oh.
They literally have a moving company come and pick up and package everything up for you, carry it down the stairs, and you return it and you get your credit back.
Wow.
So, yeah, I just thought that was funny as a side note that you can order something so ginormous and you can still return it.
Yeah, and they come and get it.
Yeah, they come and get it. But yeah, so everyone sat on the floor, and then ever since then, the business just picked up, and people kept calling, and I was booked out months in advance, and it was really a little bit more than, it was overwhelming. I didn't think it was going to go the way it did, but it's slowed down now since then, and it's a little more evened out, which is nice. So I can just have a little V time, as I call it.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so
meant to be.
What?
Meant to be, I said.
Oh yes, for sure. But you still do paranormal investigating, right? You still do ghost hunting and that kind of stuff.
I joined a team when I first got here. They invited me. So I belong to Tampa. Ooh, what are they called? See First Paranormal, as in customer first. they invited me along on some things. They needed a psychic medium, so I became that one on the team, not doing paranormal stuff, just doing the walkthrough. And my requirement is that I don't know any information. I just do the walkthrough ahead of time, find the hot spots, write my notes, and then I leave and the team takes over and does the equipment and stuff like that. So, so it's kind of, it's almost like, I don't know, like I'm some sort of, what do you call it? Like a quality control. I just walk through.
Yes.
I sat and then I leave, like my job is done. Then they go all night, but I'm not a person that, does the overnights or things like that. But I probably haven't since COVID. I don't think they've had any. I don't know if they've had cases. I get private cases for murders and missing persons and dead files. I handle those on my own. Sometimes they give me some or refer me, but I haven't physically been any haunted location in so long that now my vacations, if I go somewhere, sometimes I like a weekend getaway. I like to go to a hotel and just not be in my home. And I will pick the most haunted place hotel to go to, so I can maybe have something happen while I'm relaxing,
Yes.
but I have to create my own little paranormal experiences now.
Yes. Well, okay, so you need to come to Minnesota because I know you know Dave Schrader, and he is taking over the Palmer House, which is in Sauk Center. Yeah. So we need to get you up here, and then we need to go.
I'm trying.
Wouldn't that be a kick?
No, it would. I probably wouldn't leave. No, I would at least be there a couple of weeks, because, I want to see you guys and Dave and the Palmer House. And, I know Minnesota has a lot of areas that are haunted, and that would be lovely to see.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. So, okay. So here's a question. What time of day is best, do you think, to do paranormal investigation, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I mean, sunset, I've had stuff happen. I mean, the whole midnight to 3 or whatever, I don't really believe that, because I've had paranormal stuff happen at 2 p.m, in the morning. I don't really believe that they care about the time or there's something more active. The only reason it might be more active past midnight would be because it's quieter and you might notice things more, I do know that ghosts don't like a lot of crowds or people. And when I've done stuff with groups, I can sense them standing in the corner watching, but really they don't want to perform, or come out. They're like, oh, okay, there's 10 of you. But the minute I'm alone somewhere, I have so much interaction, hair pulls, butt slapped, whatever's going on. So I know that they kind of handpick who they want to interact with, but definitely crowds will keep ghosts away for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I agree about any time of the day works. I think that, people say that same as you, 12 to 3 is because the world is quiet. Maybe they have an easier time getting your attention, but doesn't matter what time you do.
No, they're not sitting there going, oh, everyone get up. It's midnight. Let's go.
Listen, I'm an early to bed kind of girl. So I know I have on our sim crew, we have kids, we have 2 of our members are in their 20s, and so they can stay up all night. And I'm like, you go ahead. I will come for a while and then you guys finish out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't drink Red Bull anymore, so I definitely don't have that 6 a.m. still going at 6 a.m. I'm like, no, it's natural now. So when that wears off, I'm out.
Yep. It's just too much. So when you are alone in these hotel rooms, do you just kind of you just do what you're going to do, and then you just, if it happens, it happens, but you don't really look for it. You don't really say, well, who's here? Is there anybody here? I mean, even if you sense that they're there, do you say, who are you? Or do you just let it flow?
Usually I just, because again, everything's in the mind. And if you go looking for a ghost in your mind mentally, you're already set. Every little thing's going to be a ghost, So I just go like, hey, I'm going to sit on the balcony. I'm going to read. I'm going to watch television. I'm here just to be a tourist. And if something happens, great. Some days I will say, hey, I'm here. If you're going to show up or do something, you're free to interact with me, do whatever you want. And then that's it. I leave it at that. I don't really sit there and leave recorders or REM pods or things out. Because I have found many times I've gone to the most haunted room and not a thing happened. And then it's like, well, what's the point? But then you go to a non-haunted room, like on the Queen Mary, I would just pick random rooms and stuff would happen. But yet the most haunted room, which is now set up to be a farce, basically, because it's all rigged, I don't care for that. So, you can't really, even the most haunted room, you might find one that I didn't know was most haunted. And, so I go in expecting nothing, because then I'm not disappointed.
Yes.
That's
and
if something
does,
I'm like, oh, hey, okay, I heard that. I saw that. Even my own shower, sometimes the water just turns on by itself. And I have to think, well, maybe there was a little water in the plumbing. I don't know if someone's trying to communicate right now. Or if, I'm even as a paranormal and a psychic, I'm very skeptic of my own perception and things, because it could be scientific. I'm also very scientific. And to me, it's like, well, there could be trapped water that suddenly came out, unless it's very specific, like the voodoo doll I have over here. I bought from Louisiana. It's really cute. It's not a nasty voodoo doll. He's so cute. It's got a little button eye and a little stitch. And one day I came home and he was laying face down. And I was like, oh my God, I know he sat there like this all this time. I know he didn't like nothing. So I have a camera pointing towards my bed 24 hours a day. And I thought, let me check the video footage. Maybe I can see it being pushed down or fall down. I didn't see anything because it was out of range, doggone it. However, I caught a woman screaming on the video. And then you hear another voice go, hello. And I was like, whoa. Had the doll not fallen down, I would have never thought to check my camera, and then caught the screaming voice, which was even more frightening than the little dude falling down.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
but I'm curious as to it faces the bed, because I'm curious as to what happens when I'm sleeping. What is going on in my room while I'm sleeping,
Yeah.
So,
well,
you should try it sometime. It's quite interesting.
I have 3 cats, and they protect me from anything.
They might be up to no good at that time too.
Well, they sleep right on me. And what's interesting is, like, if we've done an investigation, these kitties are on me like the whole night. It's like, I don't know if they say that cats are the guardians of the underworld. I believe it. They're protectors.
It is. They will keep stuff away.
Yes.
That's why I have a dog.
Right. Well, I have one of those too. But the kitties are the ones that I'd say are my protectors. So talking about animals. So can you see through their eyes? Like, what are they thinking? What are their fears? Do you do animal communication? And those things?
I do. I do read people's animals off of a photo is fine. I have a lot of clients that come with a picture, or I ask them for one. They want to know what's wrong with their dog, emotionally, physically. I've been pretty good. I'd say 8 out of 10 times I can pick what is ailing the dog. Sometimes people put dogs to sleep and they're like, was this what he wanted? I don't really know. And so I can talk to the dog or cat and see how they felt about being put to sleep, but my dog and I, Aura, are very connected. I feel like separation anxiety when I feel her sadness when I leave. I can tune in wherever I am out and about. Like, oh my God, she's bored. Oh my God, she's pissed off at me. I left her. We have a very close relationship to the point where we can pick up each other's feelings. And that's a great thing to have that with your pet, to be able to just be that. Because they don't talk, so we can only go off of feelings.
Now, when you're out walking around, I'm curious about this. This has nothing to do with paranormal investigation, but when you're out walking around, somebody maybe touches your hand, you're out with your dog, whatever, somebody touches your hand, and all of a sudden you know something bad is going to happen to this person, do you tell them?
Wait,
Do you tell them?
a living person touches my
Yeah.
hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the
Wait.
part, this is like the behind the scenes of being a psychic. My job is to report whatever I pick up, regardless of it, if it's the lottery numbers or death. Unfortunately, that's the part that sucks. There's that definitive moment where I'm like, oh, should I tell them that? And then my guides say, yeah, V, you have to, they don't want to hear it. But so there is a little bit, sometimes if it's too graphic about how somebody died or something, I will just let things unfold naturally through fate. So there is sometimes because you never know how people are going to take it. And I have to be so careful as to my delivery.
Yes.
That because at the end of the day, I'm the messenger. It's like you cannot really fault me or be mad at me.
No.
I'm just a tool.
Yes.
So yeah, I sometimes vary, but I have been known. It's weird. Sometimes information comes when I'm in the shower. And I think it's because water is a conductor.
Yes, for sure.
And so I'll just be in there soaping up, and suddenly it's like, tell so-and-so that he didn't mean to do whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I rush out. I hope the water's still running. I'm texting people. There's water droplets all over the phone. And I'm like, hey, your brother just said that so-and-so. And they're like, oh my God, V, thank you. We were wondering. I was like, okay, I'm getting back to my shower now.
Yeah.
But things like that will happen, just random. I will be watching television, and suddenly the minute I think about somebody, something comes in. And so I have to be really careful to kind of be spacey most of the time so that I don't think about people or my friends, because then something comes through. And it's not always deceased. It might be like, hey, don't buy that car or don't take that job.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh my God, where are my own thoughts? They were just there a minute ago. Right.
Gosh, you're right. It is a blessing and a curse all at the same time. And I can't imagine, I mean, I have abilities, but not that to that extent. I can sense when spirits are around and energies, but no, not psychic. But, and Jerry, and he has that ability too. So he'll be walking and he'll touch someone like his mom, and he knows something's bad is going to happen to him. And he will say, oh my gosh, this is, watch out for something. You know what I mean? So,
right. And people have, really people are allowed to either, I tell people, you can look at me like I have 3 heads, or you can take it seriously. It's up to you, but I've done my duty. I have given you the message. It's off my chest. What you do with it afterwards is entirely up to you. You can believe me or think I'm a kook, but I did my part.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So tell me this, what do you think Bigfoot is?
Oh God, I love him. He is, and my theory is that he's really the missing link, because if you look at that silly chart with the ape and then man, I think he's something in the middle. I do feel, because it's weird, I will watch Bigfoot shows and I can telepathically talk to him on television and read his mind. I do feel there's some sort of connection with the UFOs and Bigfoot. There's some weird thing going on there. I've seen enough of it. They're very intelligent. They're clearly very curious about us, but keep their distance because they do see that we are a very dangerous species. But they're highly intelligent, very carnal, very just basic, very primitive. It's just hunt, kill, stare at people, run away. It's very caveman-like behavior, and that is why I do believe he has survived for so long. He has incredible survival instincts. I do believe he lives underground in the cave systems, because if you think about it, with all that fur, you're going to get hot. So where would you want to hang out? In the cave system where it's nice and cool, and hidden. But I think he is getting more and more bold and more curious. There's more interactions, there's more trail cam footage. So I do believe that we definitely have the proof. There is definitely I very much believe in him, and I just don't think we'll ever get that close. I feel it's always meant to be like, hey, a little glimpse, like a shadow person, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know
Well,
what really they are,
exactly.
but you know, but we know it exists,
Yes.
and that's good enough for us. I think that some things should just
Yes.
never, you know, we don't really need
Yep.
to ever merge.
All right, so let me ask you this. So a couple of weeks ago, we did a show on the Patterson Gimlin film. I'm sure you've seen that little seconds of Patty.
Yes.
Real or faked, in your opinion?
I do believe it's real because one, they don't really. They're just. I don't feel. I mean, you have to think about it. To make a costume like that and put all that on and film it. I do believe. You know, who has a concept like that back then and goes, "Hey, let's put on an ape outfit and create this creature," but then everyone has seen it in real life, so. I do believe that that was real footage, and it kind of freaked them out. And you know, it was short because I do believe they were filming something else probably. And this thing, they were probably out in the woods somewhere, and then this thing showed up, and it's like, holy cow! So that was the beginning of it. I don't feel that people had the means and would bother to fake it. I go more into an emotional stance when I, you know, and rather than the factual thing, and I just think more like, what would people gain out of this? Like, what's the point of it, you know? Right? Why bother? Because you will be ridiculed, so why bother to fake something like that and put it out for the public? Just like UFO sightings, you know?
Yes. Yes.
You
And
are putting your reputation, that whole, you know.
Well, and I've always said, as a Bigfoot researcher, I could get a very clear picture of Bigfoot. I would know it's real, but are you kidding? The general world would say you faked it.
Right.
That's not real. It's AI. It's whatever. Photoshop. This is not real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
but the way
world
it
in which we live.
moves and everything, you know, it's just too much work for somebody to make a quick costume like that without it just. And you know, and it's typical Bigfoot behavior. You know, he always just kind of glances over and then he darts off. That's so like him. All the videos we've seen, that's all he does. You know, he wants to get the heck on out of there.
He does, and he doesn't want to be seen, for sure.
No, I wouldn't want to hang out with humans either, but I'm stuck here.
I know, right? I know. That's how I feel sometimes. Oh my gosh.
Okay, we have a couple of questions here that we'll get to quickly before we're done. So we have a question from Paula that says, what do you think about Teresa Caputo? Do you think she's a real psychic?
Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. People ask me about other psychics. You know, I've studied her finally. I sat and binge watched on her. Obviously I worked in Hollywood, so I know that Hollywood looks for really big personalities. You know, the hair, the nails, she caught everyone's attention. It was great for Hollywood. It was weird because after binge watching several, I started noticing she would say the same stuff over and over, almost like it was a bit canned, and she used that. And one day I was reading her through the television. I was reading Teresa reading someone else, and I was able to say what she said right before she said it. And it was really weird. I was like, okay. So I never really knew if I was reading her client or I was reading Teresa. But I do believe she is real, but I think at some point she's done so much. Hollywood has gotten to her and she's tired because she's had to do so many readings. So I do feel that sometimes it can be a bit canned and she just starts saying the same stuff over and over again, you know. But yeah, I mean, I do believe that she's real. Tyler Henry, I do believe is real. Like I connect, my reading style is more like his, you know. I feel like him and I are the most similar, and even when he gets sick a lot and spends time in bed, I know what that's like. So I connect the most with Tyler. But some of these others, John Edwards, I don't know. You know, they just got lucky and got on television.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know, it's like the ghost shows too, right? I mean, you can really believe so much, and then Hollywood takes over, right?
Exactly, because they need a show. They need content.
They need
it to keep going and
sensationalize it. They need to sensationalize everything, you know.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Good question.
Okay,
Thank you.
One other question here. Jason is asking if the line ever gets blurred between your inner voice and your intuition.
No, actually never. Um, and the only reason I can say that with confidence is because I am so sure of my own thoughts. And the only way to know that is to be so sure what you're always thinking that anytime my guides or intuition or anyone else is speaking, I know, because I know the sound of my own voice in my head. And I know what that sounds like. So I know when other people are interjecting. I honestly don't have a lot of my own thoughts. And I say that because my mind is like pretty blank most of the time because it's being fed so much information that my thought might be like, oh, what shirt am I wearing this morning? And then suddenly somebody goes, don't go over the bridge. I'm like, okay, that was not me because I was trying to pick a shirt color. So I know so well what my mind thinks that anytime something is off of that, then it's like, that's not me. So I'm quick to answer. I talk back in my head or out loud. I often talk out loud, but I'm answering to something in my head. I must look like a nut job. But that I sometimes I just don't want to talk in my head. I'm like, no, go do that. And I'm in the middle of a store talking out loud, but that's just how I am.
But I do that all the time.
Which feels good. I know someone
It does. Sometimes we are the only intelligent person to talk to, V. Come on. Well, let's just be serious here.
I talk to myself and I listen to myself. It works out.
That's right. That's right. Well, V, thank you so much for being on, and we'll wrap up. And for those of you watching, we'll have you on again soon, but get V's book, and I think it's available on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. And you can find V. What is your website? Is it?
Oh, it's psychicmediumvalentina.com.
Yeah.
There it is. Right there.
So
Or that.
You can find her there. Yeah. And she can do readings for you. She can do all kinds of things. So
in person, texted, video, many ways to. Don't worry about where you are in the world. I'll find you.
Yes, absolutely.
That sounded scary. No.
Well, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
And
so good to see you guys.
Well, good to see you too.
Thank you everyone for listening.
Yes. Thank you all for watching The Gathering tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's been fun. All of you viewers, if there's any troops watching, please be safe. We know the world is unsafe right now. And thank you for your service.
Yes. And those in the chat room, thanks for joining us. And wherever you're watching, thanks for tuning in. And we want to thank the Cryptovania Network for hosting our show and Jason Trost for producing. Yes. We love you guys and we're happy to be here, and we'll see you all next week.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.